Are going into game 3 of this best of 3 between WhiteRa and AiCytoplasm. It is a PvZ and it's from Antec attack number 18. I am SC2 England and my co-caster today is Puri. Say hi, Puri.
Hey guys.
So anyone who hasn't watched game 1 or 2, if you're watching live, we'll do a recap shortly. If you're watching on VODs or casts or anything like that, then go check them out quickly because they're awesome. So Puri, do you want to do a really quick rundown of game 1 and 2?
Yeah, game 1 was pretty simplistic, really. Cytoplasm tried 9 pool, WhiteRa went forward fast expand, defended it fairly easy, took his natural hatch out with Zealots, and then of course Cytoplasm all-in, which done absolutely nothing. Second game was a bit different. WhiteRa went for, it's pretty standard, it was Antigua Shipyard, 3 base via forward fast expand, 2 base, and then WhiteRa done a 6 gate with a couple of mortals and a warp prism all in, which
amazingly Cytoplasm held.
Yeah, he did lose his third, but he defended with a lot of spines and drones, and then he went mirrors and pretty much put on some harassment and forced WhiteRa in his base for a little bit, and then WhiteRa done a second push all in, and that failed, and then WhiteRa was pretty much forced out of the game after a few minutes.
So I've just realised I don't think I introduced these players. And their position. So WhiteRa is the red Protoss in the top right, and Cytoplasm is the purple Zerg in the lower left. He went for a 15 pool that time.
Yeah,
so
there we are.
No, it was a 14 pool, I think. Looking at the drawing count.
Don't worry.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't make too much difference. And WhiteRa's going for that forge fast expand. Now, this, obviously, WhiteRa lost game 2. Which means that it was his map choice.
It is.
And I am really surprised that he picked Daybreak because
I am a little as well.
Statistically, the win rate for Zerg on this map is actually 60%.
Sounds about right. It's mainly because your third is fairly hard to defend because there's a big space.
Yeah.
And you need a lot of cannons or gateways, and it's quite easy to run up and have your third Nexus sniped fairly fast.
So I'm guessing WhiteRa must have something kind of planned for this map. He's gone for that Forge then Nexus build, so it wasn't a Nexus first. And we will see that Cytoplasm went for his third base first. Is there a pro? Yeah, it must have been the pro blocking.
There was a pylon, there was.
Oh, was there?
Most high-end Protosses will build the pylon just to send the probe somewhere, the drone somewhere else, and then cancel.
It's a brilliant move. I mean, I've forgotten what game it was I was watching this morning. It was from the Red Bull Fight Club. Not Fight Club, Red Bull...
Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds. And there was an engineering bay chucked down against a Protoss player. And just blocking that expansion is just so effective. It delays the economy so much, especially if the player is going for a fast expansion of any form. It's a brilliant play to make. So definitely start doing it. Unless, of course, you're Zerg. Then it's not really worth throwing down a hatchery.
Not so much. But you will get some Zergs who they cancel the hatchery and build an Evo really fast.
Which is a cool trick.
It's a little funky. Have you seen the ones where they get a hatchery and then they build a queen really fast and get the creep tumor down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
See, my pet favourite thing to do against a forge fast expanding Protoss, if I'm like bored and I just feel like doing something stupid, is trying to build a hatchery. You build a hatchery at their natural and also in their main base, like outside.
Like Cats does.
Just like build them both, and they usually spot one, or they spot the one at the natural and they kill it off, and they're like, oh, I'm safe now, and then suddenly there's a queen and a load of roaches in your main.
Pretty much. I haven't had that happen to me as of yet.
I'm gonna play you one day and just do that, and then I'm gonna laugh.
I just got you a cheeser.
So Cytoplasm does have all 3 of his hatcheries down, which is exactly where he wants to be right now. He's droning up happily. WhiteRa, on the other hand, is getting out that +1, which suggests that there's going to be some kind of 5 to 7 gate push coming in.
There's a possibility. On this map, I like to do like 4 gate pressure into a third. We do have a robo just started by WhiteRa, which of course, so far this build is identical to last game's build. So
it's also very WhiteRa has definitely a preference for that big gateway push of 2 bases. I mean, he's done it in all of the games so far, and in game 1 it worked out really well for him. So
that is very true.
But then again, in game 1, Cytoplasm did go for that 9 pull. Cytoplasm actually getting a Rotron. This is the first time we've seen him get a Rotron in this series, which is surprising, but it clearly showing he is going for some kind of big roach play.
Oh, WhiteRa runs all the way up and snipes just a single drone. He's like, ah. I'm guessing he lost that Zerglin when it got that Zealot when it got to the natural. And
Take a look at the lost tab. Yeah, he has done. So you can work it out by the resources lost.
Yep.
So,
well, if you hit Control R, it shows you workers killed. Yeah.
So you know 1 worker was killed. Anyway, so this is all pretty standard at the moment. Lair coming out at the moment for Cytoplasm. If we look at the drone and work count, 40 to 50. So
okay, we got loads of gateways in production, 4 to be exact, and an Immortal.
So this is going to be a 5-gate robo push, almost certainly, and it's going to hit hard because for the first time Cytoplasm is actually going for that Roach Warren. So the Immortal is going to wreck the Roaches.
Yeah, absolutely. The Overlord does see it though. He sees the Robo. I don't think he's seen the Immortal.
Well, I mean, you can have a pretty good guess from that Robo and the fact it's down so early. Also, these Overlords are just so crazy now. Like I play Zerg, but the speed of Overlords now is just sick. Like you just survive forever. Like you can just run in and poke, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to attack you," and you're like, "Nope, going to just speed away."
So we have in total that's 7 gateways. Yeah, exact same build as last game. We have 2 Immortals, the War Prisms about to pop, and 7 gateways in production. Of course, there was an Overseer morphing to the right of the map, which is going to scout everything in a second.
Now, the one difference here for Cytoplasm, and why I'm actually feeling quite confident for him, is he does have this Rotron down, which he didn't have in the previous 2 games. And he's also getting that Infestation Pit at a very early timing, which I love. Yeah. And now these Zerglings are going to be able to pick off 1 sentry, and that in itself is actually quite a big win for Cytoplasm there.
That was a lot of Zerglings, though, in my opinion.
It's a lot of Zerglings, but he's on 3 bases. He can comfortably start flooding. He's got that macro hatch as well, which will really help him spend his resources as they get higher. He's got those 10 roaches in production, and really it's the force fields which are going to mess him up in dealing with this. So by reducing the force fields as much as possible, he's actually getting himself in a good spot.
This is getting interesting. There was a pylon that got spotted at the top right that Cytoplasm just took out, and now WhiteRa looks like he was going to trap the Zerglings about to go for the ramp. Oh, snap.
And now we will see that actually that delays WhiteRa's expansion a little way. Not expansion, is push a little way. But these Zerglings are getting trapped out of position. They're going to try and focus down that pylon.
And get the force field.
He will manage to get that pylon down, but there is another one at the very top of Cytoplasm's 3rd base, just another there.
And the probe is still alive, but WhiteRa's actually getting into a nice position at the 3rd here, and he can get some nice force fields.
And that's exactly what he does. The Immortal does get focus fired though. That's doing an awful lot of damage there. The Roaches are trapped behind those force fields though.
And the Immortal lives. That's so important because, of course, once it hits 100 shield again, it's going to do... it's going to be indestructible once again. And we have more sentries being walked in now, actually. So WhiteRa's definitely going to take this 3rd, and he's cramping roaches on top of roaches, so they're doing taking a lot of damage.
The infestors are out though, and those fungal growths are being very, very effective. So all while those fungal growths are still going off, then it really allows Cytoplasm to deal with this better, but he has lost his 3rd base, so even if he holds now, he's not in a great spot.
Of course. And like I said, the Immortal's still alive, which is... Oh, look, all this... Oh, no. Those drones just popped and we're in transit to the 3rd. They're actually being used in the fight now.
There's some really bad control on that Infestor there. And that was one with actually some energy. Good fungal growth goes down on most stuff there. The Immortal is getting focused down, but 1 still remains. But I can't help but feel WhiteRa's got this now.
It's looking that way. He's a hidden supply. He's got the pylon right there. And... he's got good positioning now to take out the macro hatch.
The only thing WhiteRa's missing is force fields.
Yeah, he's got 1 at the moment.
He's got 1 force field, and a lot of roaches are about to pop. And once they come out, it could be very, very difficult to deal with that many forces.
I still feel like he's in a solid spot. He's got loads of Zealots. He's still got that Immortal. The Immortal's up 30 kills. I love Immortals.
Immortals are just crazy, but no. WhiteRa's actually effectively split up Cytoplasm's army here as well.
Yeah.
The drones are being pulled, which is never a good sign, and with that warp in, that's the real nail in the coffin.
Yep.
So there's the good game well played, and WhiteRa does advance to the semi-finals, so do tune in for that. shout out for people watching. Do tweet us and follow us on Twitter, etc. It's at sc2_England. And my co-caster is at PughYDude, which is PughYDude. So do follow us on Twitter, that'd be cool.